Hey, anime edit saga fans. Before we dive into this spicy debate, hit that subscribe button and smash the like if you're pumped to explore why Hebi Sasuke might just be the ultimate version of Sasuke Uchiha. Let's get into it. Imagine this. Sasuke Uchiha, one of the most iconic characters in Naruto Shippuden, at the peak of his power, only to be nerfed midway through the series. Yes, you heard that right. Nerfed. While some fans might argue that Taka Sasuke, with his shiny new Mangekyou Sharingan and Amaterasu, is the stronger version, the truth is far more controversial. Hebi Sasuke, armed with Orochimaru's powers, the Cursed Seal, and unmatched battle IQ, is undeniably superior. From outsmarting Deidara to surviving Itachi's Amaterasu, Hebi Sasuke's arsenal and cunning make him a force to be reckoned with. But what happened when Sasuke transitioned to Taka? Did the loss of key abilities and newfound recklessness make him a shadow of his former self? Let's dive into this heated debate and uncover why Hebi Sasuke reigns supreme over Taka Sasuke, brought to you by Anime Edit Saga. The genius of Hebi Sasuke. A master strategist, before we dissect the powers, let's talk about what sets Hebi Sasuke apart. His mind. Hebi Sasuke, the version of Sasuke who formed Team Hebi to hunt down Itachi, was a tactical genius. His fight against Deidara is a masterclass in strategy, rivaling even Shikamaru's cleverest moments. Sasuke didn't just overpower Deidara, he broke down his opponent's abilities with surgical precision, countering explosive clay with lightning-based techniques and exploiting weaknesses like a chess grandmaster. Every move was calculated, every jutsu perfectly timed. This wasn't just brute strength, it was brilliance. Compare that to his fight against Itachi. Even facing his brother's overwhelming power, Sasuke set traps with Kirin, a lightning-based technique so devastating it obliterated an entire Uchiha hideout. He anticipated Itachi's moves, used the environment to his advantage, and even broke free from Tsukuyomi, one of the most powerful genjutsu in the series. This level of intellect made Hebi Sasuke a nightmare for any opponent. But something changed when Sasuke became Taka Sasuke. In his fight against Killer Bee, we see a shocking shift. Gone is the calculated strategist. Instead, we get a Sasuke who charges in with overconfidence, underestimating his opponent and nearly paying the ultimate price. His chest gets caved in by Killer Bee's lariat, a humiliating moment that highlights a stark decline in his battle IQ. Why did Sasuke's brilliance fade? Was it the emotional toll of learning the truth about Itachi, or was it a deliberate nerf by Kishimoto to balance the story? We'll explore that later, but for now, let's focus on the powers that made Hebi Sasuke a powerhouse. Hebi Sasuke's arsenal, Orochimaru's legacy, and the Cursed Seal. Hebi Sasuke's strength wasn't just in his mind, it was in his unique abilities, many of which he lost when transitioning to Taka. Let's break down what made him so formidable. Orochimaru's powers, near immortality and versatility. After absorbing Orochimaru, Sasuke gained access to an array of snake-based techniques that gave him unparalleled versatility. He could summon massive snakes like Manda, a beast capable of shielding him from devastating attacks or turning the tide of battle. He could also produce white snakes from his body for both offense and defense, creating a dynamic fighting style that kept opponents guessing. The crown jewel of Orochimaru's powers was the snake substitution jutsu, a technique that made Sasuke nearly invincible. By shedding his skin like a snake, Sasuke could escape fatal attacks, effectively cheating death as long as he had enough chakra. This ability proved its worth when Sasuke survived a direct hit from Itachi's Amaterasu, a black flame that burns until its target is ash. No ordinary ninja could have walked away from that, but Sasuke did, thanks to Orochimaru's powers. Beyond survival, Orochimaru's influence enhanced Sasuke's physical prowess. His regenerative abilities allowed him to recover from injuries at an accelerated rate, as seen after his grueling fight with Deidara. Sasuke himself noted that Orochimaru's powers helped him heal faster, giving him an edge in prolonged battles. The Cursed Seal, a flat but impactful boost, the Cursed Seal of Heaven, bestowed by Orochimaru, was another key component of Hebi Sasuke's strength. In Naruto Part 1, the Cursed Seal was a game-changer, amplifying the power of characters like the Sound 4 by a factor of 10, according to Jirobo. In Shippuden, however, its impact was less pronounced due to the exponential power scaling. To illustrate, let's use a simple analogy. Imagine Jirobo in Naruto. Part 1 has a base power of 1. The Cursed Seal adds a flat +9, making him 10 times stronger, power level 10. Hebi Sasuke in Shippuden might have a base power of 80. The Cursed Seal's +9 brings him to 89, a noticeable boost, but not as transformative as it was for weaker characters. Despite its diminished relative impact, the Cursed Seal still gave Sasuke enhanced strength, speed, and the ability to sprout wings for flight. These wings weren't just cosmetic, they added mobility and flair, making Sasuke a more dynamic fighter. The Cursed Seal's loss was a significant blow when Sasuke became Taka, stripping him of a reliable power-up. Kirin, a devastating trump card. Let's not forget Kirin, Sasuke's ultimate lightning-based technique. By manipulating natural lightning, Sasuke could unleash a catastrophic strike capable of leveling entire landscapes. In his fight against Itachi, Kirin's raw power was enough to force Itachi to rely on Susanoo, one of the strongest defenses in the series. This technique showcased Sasuke's ability to combine strategy with overwhelming force, a hallmark of his Hebi era. What do you think so far? All right, anime edit saga community, are you Team Hebi or Team Taka? If you're nodding along and thinking Hebi Sasuke's strategic genius and snake powers make him the clear winner, drop a yes in the comments below. Let's see how many of you agree that Hebi Sasuke is the GOAT. Now let's dive into what Taka Sasuke brings to the table. Taka Sasuke, what did he gain? So, what did Taka Sasuke bring to the table? After defeating Itachi, Sasuke unlocked the Mangekyou Sharingan, a significant power-up that granted him 2 key abilities, enhanced Genjutsu and Amaterasu. Let's examine these gains and why they don't quite measure up to what he lost. Mangekyou Sharingan. A double-edged sword, the Mangekyou Sharingan elevated Sasuke's ocular prowess, particularly in Genjutsu. However, while his Genjutsu became stronger, it paled in comparison to Itachi's Tsukuyomi. Danzo, during the 5 Kage Summit, explicitly stated that Sasuke's Genjutsu didn't come close to Itachi's, even when Sasuke was more powerful than his Taka self. Hebi Sasuke, meanwhile, had already proven he could break out of Tsukuyomi, a feat that required immense skill and willpower. In a hypothetical Genjutsu duel between Hebi and Taka Sasuke, the outcome would likely be a stalemate, as Hebi's resistance to high-level Genjutsu neutralizes Taka's advantage. Amaterasu, powerful but overrated. Amaterasu, the black flame that burns until its target is destroyed, is undeniably powerful. In the fight against Killer Bee, Sasuke used Amaterasu to force the Eight Tails into submission, a feat that seems impressive at first glance. However, there are caveats. Inexperience. Taka Sasuke was far less adept with Amaterasu than Itachi. While Itachi could spam Amaterasu and use it creatively, like extinguishing Sasuke's fireball jutsu, Sasuke's single use against Killer Bee left him wincing in pain and drained of chakra. This lack of mastery limited Amaterasu's effectiveness. Countered by Hebi Sasuke. Hebi Sasuke already faced Amaterasu in his fight against Itachi and survived. He dodged the flames with sheer speed for a time and ultimately used the snake substitution jutsu, to escape a direct hit. If Taka Sasuke tried to use Amaterasu against Hebi Sasuke, the latter's speed and substitution jutsu would likely neutralize the threat. Amaterasu's effectiveness also depends on the target. It worked well against Killer Bee's massive 8 tails form, which was too large to dodge easily. Against a nimble, human-sized opponent like Hebi Sasuke, it's far less reliable. The nerf, what Taka Sasuke lost. When Sasuke transitioned from Hebi to Taka, he suffered 2 major losses, Orochimaru's powers and the Cursed Seal. These were stripped away by Itachi, who sealed Orochimaru into the Totsuka blade to free Sasuke from his malevolent influence. While this made narrative sense, it significantly weakened Sasuke. Loss of Orochimaru's powers. Without the snake-based techniques, Sasuke lost his near immortality, enhanced regeneration, and summoning capabilities. Manda, for instance, was a powerful asset that could shield Sasuke or attack opponents. The absence of these abilities made Taka Sasuke less versatile. Loss of the Cursed Seal. The Cursed Seal's boost, while not as impactful in Shippuden, still provided enhanced physical stats and flight. Losing it meant Sasuke had fewer tools to fall back on. No Susanoo. Yet, in the Killer Bee fight, Taka Sasuke hadn't yet developed Susanoo, a technique that would later make him far stronger. Without it, he lacked a defense against Hebi Sasuke's Kirin or other high-damage attacks. These losses left Taka Sasuke with a narrower arsenal, heavily reliant on the Mangekyou Sharingan. While Amaterasu and Genjutsu are powerful, they couldn't fully compensate for the versatility and durability Hebi Sasuke possessed. The IQ drop, from mastermind to reckless warrior. Perhaps the most shocking nerf was Sasuke's decline in battle. IQ. Hebi Sasuke's fights against Deidara and Itachi showcased his ability to analyze, adapt, and outmaneuver opponents. In contrast, Taka Sasuke's approach against Killer Bee was reckless and arrogant. He underestimated the 8 Tails Jinchuriki, charging in without a clear strategy and nearly dying as a result. If not for Team Taka's intervention, Sasuke would have been defeated. This shift wasn't entirely bad writing. Sasuke's mental state was in turmoil after learning the truth about Itachi's sacrifice, leading to erratic and impulsive behavior. This is evident in the 5 Kage Summit, where Sasuke's rash actions, attacking the Kage without a plan, further highlight his diminished intellect. While he later showed flashes of brilliance, like outsmarting Danzo with a clever genjutsu, he never fully regained the strategic genius of his Hebi days. Why did this happen? From a storytelling perspective, an overly intelligent Sasuke with Amaterasu would have been unstoppable. Imagine Hebi Sasuke's cunning combined with Taka's Mangekyou Sharingan. He could have one-shot most opponents with perfectly timed Amaterasu strikes. By nerfing his IQ, Kishimoto ensured Sasuke remained fallible, preventing him from overshadowing other characters. Hebi versus Taka. Who wins in a fight? Let's settle the debate. If Hebi Sasuke fought Taka Sasuke, who would win? Here's a breakdown. Speed and agility. Hebi Sasuke's speed allowed him to dodge Amaterasu for a time against Itachi. He's likely fast enough to avoid Taka Sasuke's less precise Amaterasu. Defense. Hebi Sasuke's snake. Substitution jutsu counters Amaterasu, as proven in the Itachi fight. Taka Sasuke has no equivalent defense against Kirin or other high-damage attacks. Offense. Hebi Sasuke's arsenal, Kirin, snake techniques, Cursed Seal buffs, is more diverse than Taka Sasuke's reliance on Amaterasu and Genjutsu. Kirin alone could be a game-ender. Genjutsu. Taka Sasuke's enhanced. Genjutsu is strong, but Hebi Sasuke's ability to break Tsukuyomi suggests he could resist or counter it. Strategy. Hebi Sasuke's superior battle IQ gives him a significant edge. He'd likely outmaneuver Taka Sasuke, who showed poor decision-making against Killer Bee. Verdict: Hebi Sasuke wins. His speed, defensive capabilities, diverse techniques, and strategic brilliance outclassed Taka Sasuke's limited arsenal and reckless approach. The Killer Bee paradox. Here's where things get interesting. Taka Sasuke, with Team Taka's help, technically defeated Killer Bee by forcing him to escape with the tentacle substitution. Hebi Sasuke, however, likely couldn't have beaten Killer Bee, even with his superior powers. Why? Kirin versus Eight Tails. Kirin is powerful, but tailed beasts are notoriously durable. A tailed beast bomb, for instance, might outclass Kirin in destructive power. Hebi Sasuke's Kirin could damage the Eight Tails, but probably wouldn't defeat it outright. Genjutsu limitations. Hebi Sasuke's Sharingan. Genjutsu might not work on Killer Bee, as the Eight Tails can break its host free from Genjutsu, as seen in the Taka fight. Amaterasu's advantage. Taka Sasuke's Amaterasu was a perfect counter to the Eight Tails' massive form, as it's hard for a giant beast to dodge flames that burn indefinitely. This gave Taka Sasuke an edge that Hebi lacked. This creates a paradox. Taka Sasuke, the weaker version, won against Killer Bee, while Hebi Sasuke might have lost. However, this victory relied heavily on Team Taka and Killer Bee's strategic retreat, not a true knockout. Why the nerf? A storytelling perspective. Nerfing a main character midway through a shonen series is rare, and Sasuke's case is particularly striking. Here's why it happened. Narrative reasons. Itachi's sealing of Orochimaru and the Cursed Seal was a symbolic act to free Sasuke from evil influences. It aligned with Itachi's goal of protecting his brother, even if it weakened him. Balancing power. Sasuke with Orochimaru's powers, the Cursed Seal, and Mangekyou Sharingan would have been overpowered. Amaterasu alone is a one-hit KO ability in the right hands. By removing his earlier powers, Kishimoto ensured Sasuke didn't dominate every fight. Character development. Sasuke's reduced IQ and reckless behavior reflected his emotional turmoil. Learning the truth about Itachi pushed him into a darker, more unstable mindset, which persisted until the series' end. While this added depth to his character, it came at the cost of his strategic brilliance. The loss of the Cursed Seal, in particular, feels like a missed opportunity. Imagine Sasuke combining its wings with Amaterasu or Susanoo later in the series. It would have been visually spectacular and narratively compelling. The permanent loss of these powers, with no recovery, is a bold but divisive choice by Kishimoto. The long-term impact. Did Sasuke ever recover? Taka Sasuke eventually surpassed Hebi Sasuke's power at the 5 Kage Summit, where he began developing Susanoo and other Mangekyou abilities. However, his battle IQ never fully returned to its Hebi peak. Even in the war arc and his final fight against Naruto, Sasuke's strategies lacked the finesse of his Deidara fight. Emotional factors, like the mental toll of facing his best friend, may explain this, but the nerf to his intellect persisted. This raises a broader question. Was Sasuke's nerf bad writing? Not necessarily. It added complexity to his character, showing how trauma and anger can cloud even the sharpest minds. However, fans who loved Hebi Sasuke's brilliance can't help but feel cheated by his transformation into a more reckless fighter. Conclusion: Hebi Sasuke's legacy. Hebi Sasuke represents the pinnacle of Sasuke Uchiha's potential in Naruto Shippuden. His combination of Orochimaru's powers, the Cursed Seal, Kirin, and unmatched battle IQ made him a versatile and terrifying opponent. Taka Sasuke, despite gaining the Mangekyou Sharingan and Amaterasu, lost too much to compete. The nerf, both in powers and intellect, was a deliberate choice to balance the story and reflect Sasuke's emotional descent, but it left fans longing for the strategic genius who outsmarted Deidara and challenged Itachi. In a hypothetical clash, Hebi Sasuke's speed, versatility, and cunning would overwhelm Taka Sasuke's limited arsenal and rash decisions. The debate may rage on, but the evidence is clear. Hebi Sasuke is the stronger version, a testament to what Sasuke could have been if his powers and mind had remained intact. What do you think, anime edit saga fans? Did Kishimoto make the right call by nerfing Sasuke, or should he have kept the cursed seal and Orochimaru's powers? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you agree Hebi Sasuke is superior, let us know with a yes. Don't forget to like this video to support Anime Edit Saga, subscribe if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell to stay updated on all our Naruto content. Thank you for joining us on this epic breakdown. See you in the next one.